Welcome, everybody. This is the closing ceremony for the EMEA conference. Thank you so much for spending the day with us. As we wrap up, it's just a few quick words and also just to share a bit of highlights and then, get any feedback from you as our audience. First of all, thank you so much to all our speakers that have been part of the EMEA conference today. We had some really interesting nuggets from all of you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for volunteering your time to speak at this conference. We greatly appreciate your contribution to really sparking some interesting conversations. And I think this is not the end of this discussion. It has really just ignited the next steps that all PMOs across EMEA and globally need to really think about as we look at this journey of being future ready. So, what are some of the interesting things that popped up during the EMEA session? There was a lot of discussion around agility, and I think Peter Stevens, it was from Switzerland, mentioned that agility and management have a troubled relationship. So that was quite interesting to see how can we be more agile in our organizations. Christina Nicolescu from Romania also mentioned an interesting statistic about 70% of projects fail, not due to communication or stakeholder issues, as we know the statistic, but really due to lack of adaptability. So if we're talking about being future ready, what can we do to really be more adaptable, to be more agile within our organizations, within our processes, within our tools, within our governance? And a part of that is actually introducing quite a lot of co-creation. So how can we co-create our processes? How can we co-create what we're measuring? What are those metrics that tell us we're on track to be future ready? And how have we decided on those metrics? Have we gone through a process of co-creation with the relevant stakeholders within our organization? And what about the tools that we're using? Are we using rigid tools, or do we have flexible tools within our PMOs? And do we need more tools? Because you would imagine some PMOs are using hundreds of tools, but do we need more tools, or is it trust that we actually need more of? So those were some of the interesting elements. And a question to all PMOs: how do you know that you've stopped generating value as you're preparing for the future to be future ready? How are you actually defining what value is, and how do you know that you've stopped generating value, and what are you going to do about it as you take the path to be future ready? Driving change, driving innovation is a big part of that. And one of our speakers actually spoke about that if your PMO isn't uncomfortable, then you're probably not innovating, you're probably not inducing change, you're probably not really having an impact or generating value. So there must be some level of discomfort for you to know that you are shifting things, shifting barriers, and really moving the needle. And as part of our theme, we also wanted to focus quite a bit on what does it mean to be people-driven. People-driven, I think we had a speaker from Egypt, Ola Abdelaziz, talking about shifting from process-driven to people-driven. So that was quite interesting session in Arabic. Hope you enjoyed, for those that were able to join that session. And one of the aspects of that was touched on by James Evans, who spoke about psychological safety, that we need to be creating environments within our PMOs, within our organizations, where people feel psychologically safe to experiment, safe to contribute, and safe to use their gut. And that is how then we are going to really make changes within our PMOs that are going to have an impact. So psychological safety is not just a side project, but it's really the foundation for performance. And this theme of trust kept coming up as well across various sessions today. And Fluid, one of our sponsors, spoke about the need to balance positive news with challenges to be able to maintain trust. And part of this, I think James Evans also touched on it about watermelon projects. I think we all know and probably love that concept, projects that are green on the outside, but actually read inside. So how can we balance positive news with the challenges so that we maintain trust? Because if we are constantly painting a picture of, with everything looking rosy, that is not really going to help us to build trust within the leadership, within the organization, that we are actually in a position of generating value. Of course, we can't talk about the future and being future ready without the technology stack element and AI. So we had a very exciting AI panel. Thank you to all our panelists that were part of that discussion. And one thing that was quite strong coming out of those discussions is that AI is your team member. AI is part of our team. AI is our colleague, and we should embrace that as PMOs. There shouldn't be a debate about whether AI is replacing humans, replacing project managers. It's actually part of the team. When you're building your RACI and your team, you allocate what AI is going to produce and all that. So it's really there to amplify human potential, but we have to also get past some of the challenges around the ethical concerns of AI. So yes, AI can help to generate our dashboards faster. AI can, do the report for us, but there has to be that ethical element where we add the human flavor to ensure that, there's accuracy and relevancy, etc. So know your performance signals and know your recovery levers. So where you have risks and issues, challenges, how are we going to recover from those? Because let's face it, the future has foreseen and unforeseen challenges. So how are we going to recover from that? And there were discussions around AI has a role to play in predicting what some of those future challenges might be. But what are our levers that are going to help us through those? Agility, agility, agility. We spoke a lot about the portfolio agility, embracing more iteration and experimentation over rigid planning. One of our speakers actually said, we need less governance and more guidance. So that was interesting because I think most people focus more on governance, 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 governance. So not to say governance is not needed, but let's embrace iteration. Let's have more experimentation over the rigid planning and continuously reprioritize, prioritize, prioritize. We have an interesting session coming up in the Americas conference shortly. So we invite you all to join the Americas conference. There's a session on prioritization there as well, where we can dig deeper into this conversation. And really, it's about partnering with our executives and leveraging AI, data, our processes, agility, and all that, so that we're in a position to help them to make the right decisions that will lead to the vision that our organizations have. So some quick highlights. I invite you to also share in the chat anything that stood out for you during the EMEA session. So over to you, Jose.
No, thank you, Cleo. Just mentioned that what a journey it's been. What a special day. It's always special to host this event. It's only mentioning that we've explored such a rich variety of perspectives, ideas, experiences across all our speakers, panelists, etc. That truly um, reflect the diversity and evolution of the PMO world. So yeah, we touched a lot of topics. You did a great summary, Cleo. But yeah, it's been a collection of inspiring topics, thought provoking as well, and future focused sessions as the topic of the conference. As we have on the topic of the conference. Yeah, the beauty comes, I think, when each speaker brings a different flavor, different insights, and of course, plenty of experiences to reflect and grow as a community. So, with that, I think that it's a huge thank you to all the speakers, panelists, and for sure the participants for making this event so engaging, dynamic, and of course to my fellow organizing committee members. Cleo, thank you for leading the charge, and all the dedication behind the scenes to Elinka, Joe, and the rest of the team as well. So, um, what else? It's been a truly enriching experience, and I hope you all leave with new ideas, connections, inspirations. To shape the PMOs of the future, right? So, quick reminder that you can check all the recordings on the YouTube channel of the PMO leader. If you missed something, as well, you can check them there, and you can download the presentation of every speaker in our resources tab as well. So, thank you, everyone, and I think that's it for the EMEA team, and we hope to see you next year. So thank you, guys.
Yes, we hope to see some of you as speakers next year or as volunteers as part of the conferencing team. And we invite you to join the PMO leader, be part of our community. It is free. Follow us on LinkedIn and also go to our website and join us. See you in the
Awesome.
Americas. We still have 6 hours of content, live PMO content to go. So don't disappear yet. Change into your pajamas. If it's late on your end, grab your coffee or wine or beer, and yeah, see you
Let's do
there.
it. Perfect. Thank you, Cleo. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.